For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. That's Habakkuk 2 verse 3. At first, it might sound confusing. What does it mean that a vision has an appointed time? Why would God give you a dream, a promise, or a word and then make you wait? Why would he allow delays, detours, or seasons of silence? But chosen one, listen to me. Every word God speaks carries a clock. Not your clock, not the world's clock, but heaven's clock. And when God says your appointed time has begun, nothing and no one can stop it. Think about how many times you've carried a dream in your heart. Maybe you've prayed over it, fasted over it, cried over it. Maybe you've been waiting for breakthrough in your family, in your career, in your ministry, in your purpose. And there were days you wondered, did I hear God wrong? Did I miss it? Is this ever going to happen? But here's the truth. Delay is not denial. Waiting is not wasted. God has been aligning, preparing, positioning. And now he's saying to you, chosen one, your time has begun. Let that sink in. Not your time is coming, not someday maybe, not if you're lucky. No, your time has begun. The shift has started. The season has turned. What you've been waiting for, what you've been sowing for, what you've been praying for. This is the appointed time for it to manifest. Chosen one, do you know what happens when the appointed time begins? Things accelerate. Doors that have been locked for years suddenly swing wide. People you never thought you'd meet suddenly appear in your path. Opportunities that seemed impossible suddenly become reality. It's like a dam breaking. Everything that was held back begins to flow all at once. That's what happens when God says, now. And I know what you're thinking, but I don't feel ready. I don't see anything changing yet. Let me remind you, feelings are not the measure of God's timing. Circumstances are not the confirmation of his word. The word itself is the confirmation. If God says your time has begun, then heaven has already shifted, whether you see it or not. Remember, Habakkuk says the vision will surely come. It's not a maybe, it's a certainty. So chosen one, here's the bold declaration I want you to hold on to as we begin this message. Your waiting season has expired. Your appointed time has begun. The world may not recognize it yet. People around you may still doubt it, but heaven has already stamped it. And when heaven stamps it, earth has to align. Chosen one, let's slow down for a moment and really dig into what it means when God says, your time has begun. Because I don't want you to just hear that as a nice phrase. I want you to feel the weight of it. I want you to understand what heaven is declaring over you. In the Bible, there are two main words for time. The first is chronos, that's regular time, the ticking of the clock, the minutes, the hours, the days. That's the kind of time we live by in the natural. But then there's kairos, and kairos means appointed time, divine time, the moment when heaven and earth align, when God's promise collides with your present. And when God says, your time has begun, he's not talking about chronos, he's talking about kairos. He's saying, this is your appointed season. This is your moment of alignment. This is the shift you've been waiting for. So what does that mean for you? It means you're not late. It means you're not behind. It means you didn't miss it. You are right on time because you're on God's clock, not the world's. The enemy loves to whisper, you're too old. It's too late. You should have started years ago. But when heaven says now, age doesn't matter, background doesn't matter, mistakes don't matter. What matters is that God has declared, this is your time, and his word trumps every other timeline. Chosen one, when God says your time has begun, it also means delay is over. The waiting season has served its purpose. Waiting builds strength. Waiting builds character. Waiting prepares the ground. But there comes a moment when the waiting ends and the harvest begins. And for you, that moment is now. It also means that acceleration is coming. Things that took years before will happen in months. Things that took months will happen in weeks. Things that looked impossible will suddenly fall into place. That's not hype. That's scripture. Amos 9:13 says, "The days are coming when the reaper will be overtaken by the plowman and the planter by the one treading grapes." In other words, things will happen so fast your head will spin. That's what happens when your appointed time begins. But here's something else you need to know. When God says your time has begun, it doesn't mean life will suddenly be easy. It doesn't mean there won't be battles. In fact, sometimes the battle intensifies right before the breakthrough. Why? Because the enemy knows your season has shifted, and he wants to discourage you, distract you, derail you. But chosen one, don't be afraid. The fact that the fight is fiercer is proof that your time has begun. You don't fight over nothing. The enemy only fights what threatens him, and your time threatens him. So what does your time has begun mean? It means the waiting is over. It means alignment has happened. It means acceleration is coming. It means promises are about to manifest. It means battles may rise, but victory is already secured. And most importantly, it means heaven has announced your name, stamped your season, and set things in motion that no man, no enemy, no circumstance can stop. Chosen one, let that sink into your spirit. This is not just another day. This is not just another season. This is the appointed time of the Lord over your life. And once God declares it, nothing can reverse it. Your time has begun. Chosen one, if you want to see how powerful an appointed time really is, all you have to do is look through the Word of God. Because over and over again, the Bible shows us that God has a timetable, and when that moment hits, nothing can stand in the way. It doesn't matter how long the wait has been, how many obstacles rise up, or how impossible the promise looks. When God says the time has begun, the vision speaks and destiny unfolds. Let's start with Abraham and Sarah. God promised them a son, and not just any son, a son through whom nations would be born. But do you know how long they waited? Decades. They were old, far past childbearing years. The promise seemed impossible, and at times they probably wondered if they had misunderstood God. But then Genesis 18:14 says this, "Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the appointed time I will return to you, and Sarah shall have a son." And sure enough, at the appointed time, Isaac was born. It didn't matter what biology said. It didn't matter what their age said. It didn't matter what their neighbors said. When God declared the appointed time, the promise came to life. Then look at Joseph. He had dreams as a teenager, dreams of leadership, dreams of influence, dreams of greatness. But instead of rising, his life went down. Betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, thrown into prison. For years it looked like his dreams were dead. But Psalm 105:19 says this, "Until the time came to fulfill his dreams, the Lord tested Joseph's character." Did you hear that? Until the appointed time came. And then, in one single day, Pharaoh called his name. Joseph went from prisoner to prime minister in an instant. Years of waiting, years of pain, years of testing, and then suddenly the appointed time broke open. That's what happens when God says now. And what about Esther? She didn't choose to be queen. She didn't strategize her way into the palace. She was just a Jewish orphan girl, taken into circumstances beyond her control. But as she stood in that palace, with her people facing destruction, Mordecai reminded her, "Who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this?" Esther 4:14. Do you see it? Appointed time. Esther could have stayed silent, but when she stepped into her moment, an entire nation was saved. That's what it means when God declares your time has begun. It's not just about you. It's about the people tied to your obedience. And let's not forget Jesus himself. How many times in the Gospels do we hear him say, "My time has not yet come"? There was a divine calendar, and even the Son of God submitted to it. But then, in John 12:23, Jesus said, "The hour has come for the Son of Man to be glorified." From that moment on, everything accelerated toward the cross, the resurrection, and the ultimate victory over sin and death. Even Jesus walked in appointed time, and when his hour came, nothing could stop it. Not betrayal, not Pilate, not the Pharisees, not the Roman soldiers. His time had begun, and destiny was fulfilled. Chosen one, what do all these stories have in common? They show us that God is not early, and he's never late. He's always on time. Abraham and Sarah show us that age can't block appointed time. Joseph shows us that betrayal and prison can't block appointed time. Esther shows us that fear can't block appointed time. Jesus shows us that hell itself can't block appointed time. And here's the encouragement for you. If God had an appointed time for them, he has an appointed time for you. If he fulfilled his word for them, he will fulfill his word for you. You may have waited years, you may have been tested, betrayed, overlooked, underestimated, but when heaven says your time has begun, it doesn't matter what's against you. The same God who fulfilled the promise for Abraham, the same God who raised Joseph to power, the same God who positioned Esther, the same God who glorified Jesus, that God is the one declaring over you today, your appointed time has begun. Chosen one, here's the truth. When God says your time has begun, it doesn't just stay in heaven. It begins to manifest on earth. And if you pay attention, there are signs, clear indicators that let you know the shift has already started. I want to walk you through some of these signs because many of you are already living them, but you didn't recognize them for what they are. The first sign is a stirring in your spirit. You can't quite explain it, but you feel something shifting on the inside. Things that used to satisfy you don't anymore. Things that used to feel normal suddenly feel uncomfortable. You feel a pull, a sense that you're made for more, even if you can't see the more yet. That inner stirring is heaven's alarm clock saying, wake up, it's time. The second sign is divine dissatisfaction. What do I mean? You might still be in the same job, the same routine, the same environment, but now it feels different. It doesn't fit the way it used to. You're restless, not because you're ungrateful, but because God is preparing to move you into a new season. Remember Joseph? Even in prison, he couldn't settle. He kept interpreting dreams. That divine dissatisfaction is a sign that God is aligning you for the next step. The third sign is that doors begin to open, sometimes doors you weren't even knocking on. Opportunities show up unexpectedly. People mention your name in rooms you've never entered. Conversations happen about you that you didn't orchestrate. It's like the world around you starts shifting to make space for what God has declared. That's not coincidence. That's alignment. The fourth sign is that resistance often increases. I know this one doesn't feel good, but it's true. Right before breakthrough, the enemy loves to stir up chaos. Attacks intensify, doubts grow louder, obstacles seem bigger. Why? Because the enemy knows your time has begun, and he's terrified of what happens when you step into it. So don't misinterpret the battle. The battle is a sign that the blessing is near. The fifth sign is new boldness rising in you. Suddenly you find courage where there used to be fear. You start to speak up when you used to stay silent. You take risks you never would have before. It's not arrogance, it's heaven's confirmation. The spirit inside you is saying, you're ready. This is your time. Step forward. The sixth sign is divine connections. People come into your life seemingly out of nowhere, and they carry exactly what you need for the next step. Maybe it's a mentor, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a partner in purpose. These aren't random encounters, they're heaven-sent alignments. Remember Ruth? She just happened to glean in Boaz's field. That wasn't random, that was God aligning her steps. And the seventh sign is confirmation through the word. You start reading scripture and verses leap off the page as if they were written just for you. You hear sermons, songs, conversations that echo what God has already whispered in your heart. It feels like everywhere you turn, you're hearing the same message. Your time has begun. That's not your imagination. That's God's way of making sure you don't miss it. So chosen one, if you felt restless, if you've sensed a stirring, if doors are opening, if battles are intensifying, if boldness is rising, if divine connections are appearing, if the word keeps confirming it, then hear me. Those are the signs. Heaven has already declared it. Your appointed time has begun. Don't brush these signs off as coincidence. Don't let fear talk you out of it. Don't say, maybe one day. No, this is the day, this is the season, this is your time, and the signs are all around you. Chosen one, when you step into God's appointed time, everything changes. It's like the atmosphere around your life shifts. The same things that didn't work before suddenly start working. The same doors that were locked suddenly swing open. The same prayers that felt unanswered suddenly get a response. That's what happens when God says, your time has begun. Let me show you what unfolds when you actually step into it. The first result is acceleration. Things that used to take years start happening in months. Things that felt stuck for decades suddenly move quickly. Remember Joseph? For years it looked like nothing was happening. But when his time came, in one single day, he went from prisoner to prime minister. That's acceleration. When you step into God's time, He makes up for lost time. He redeems the years the enemy tried to steal. The second result is answered prayers. Some of you have been praying the same prayer for so long, it almost feels pointless now. But in appointed time, those prayers begin to manifest. You start to see healing in places you thought were hopeless. You start to see provision where there was lack. You start to see restoration in relationships that felt broken beyond repair. Because in God's time, delay ends, and His yes begins to show up in your life. The third result is clarity. Before, you may have been walking in fog, unsure of what to do, where to go, or what God was saying. But when your time begins, things get clear. Vision sharpens, purpose crystallizes. You start to know this is what I was born to do. You're no longer distracted by every option. You're focused, because God's timing has revealed your assignment. The fourth result is favor. People start saying yes to you for reasons they can't even explain. You walk into rooms and feel welcome. You find yourself with opportunities you didn't chase. That's not random. That's favor. When it's your time, God softens hearts, positions people, and opens doors that no amount of hustle could open. The fifth result is courage. Stepping into God's time gives you a boldness you didn't have before. You're not paralyzed by fear anymore. You're not held back by insecurity. You know heaven has announced your season, and that gives you confidence to move. Think about Esther. When her moment came, she walked into the king's throne room at the risk of her life. That's what divine timing does. It puts courage in your bones. The sixth result is fruitfulness. The seeds you planted in past seasons begin to produce. The tears you sowed, the prayers you prayed, the sacrifices you made, they all start to bear fruit. Galatians 6:9 says, "At the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." The proper time is now. Your harvest season has begun, and fruitfulness means not just enough for you, but overflow for others. The seventh result is testimony. When your time begins, your story becomes proof that God is real, that His promises are true, that His timing is perfect. People look at your life and say, only God could have done that. Your breakthrough becomes someone else's hope. Your victory becomes someone else's encouragement. That's why your time matters. It's not just about you. It's about the lives connected to your obedience. So chosen one, here's what happens when you step into God's time. Acceleration, answered prayers, clarity, favor, courage, fruitfulness, and testimony. That's the package of an appointed season. That's the evidence that your waiting has not been wasted. That's the fruit of stepping into what heaven has declared over you. And maybe the best part? When you live in God's time, you finally feel alignment. You stop striving. You stop forcing. You stop panicking. You start flowing. You realize that the pressure is not on you to make it happen. The pressure is on God to fulfill what He promised, and He always keeps His word. Chosen one, your time has begun. Expect acceleration. Expect answers. Expect clarity. Expect favor. Expect courage. Expect fruitfulness. Expect testimony. Because when God says now, the results are unstoppable. Chosen one, now that you've heard it, your time has begun. You can't just sit back and treat it like another encouraging word. This isn't just a feel-good moment. This is a divine announcement. And when heaven announces something, your response matters. The question is, what are you going to do now that you know your time has begun? The first call to action is this: stop delaying. How many times have you said, one day I'll start, one day I'll forgive, one day I'll step out? But one day is here. The delay is over. If God says your time has begun, you cannot keep postponing your obedience. Don't wait for a perfect moment, because the perfect moment is now. Step into it. Second, you've got to declare it. Don't just think it, speak it. Say out loud, this is my time. Say it until your spirit believes it. Say it until every lie of the enemy goes silent. Say it until you wake up every day with fresh confidence. There's power in your words, and when you declare my time has begun, you're aligning your mouth with heaven. Third, write it down. Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision, make it plain on tablets, so he may run who reads it. If this is your time, you need to capture what God is saying. Journal it. Write the promises. Write the dreams. Write the instructions. Because when the pace picks up and acceleration comes, you'll need the vision clear so you don't get lost in the speed. Fourth, you need to move in faith. Faith isn't just belief, it's action. James says faith without works is dead. So if you believe this is your time, prove it by your steps. Apply for the opportunity. Start the project. Make the call. Forgive the person. Take the class. Whatever God has been nudging you to do, do it. Don't wait until you feel ready. Faith is stepping before you feel ready, because God already said you are. Fifth, surround yourself with the right people. When it's your appointed time, you cannot afford to walk with people who are stuck in delay. If you keep company with people who only talk about someday, you'll shrink back into waiting mode. But if you surround yourself with people of faith, people who remind you that now is your season, you'll keep moving. This is why community matters. This is why I keep inviting you to join this family, because chosen ones walk stronger together. Sixth, expect resistance, but don't retreat. When you declare, this is my time, the enemy won't clap for you. He'll come against you. Don't be surprised if distractions rise, if doubts creep in, if obstacles appear. That doesn't mean you missed it. It means you're right on target. The closer you are to breakthrough, the louder the opposition gets. So when resistance comes, don't back down. Press forward. Use it as confirmation that you're stepping into your time. And seventh, make it public. Right now, as a prophetic act, I want you to drop it in the comments. This is my time. Not because I need engagement, but because you need to announce it. You need to plant a flag in the ground. You need to say, I agree with heaven, I agree with the word, I agree that my time has begun. That declaration seals it in your spirit and puts the enemy on notice that you're stepping into destiny. Chosen one, this is not the season to hesitate. This is not the season to shrink back. This is not the season to wonder if maybe someday it'll happen. This is the season to move, to act, to speak, to write, to run. Heaven has already said it. Your time has begun. Now it's up to you to respond. Chosen one, we've come to the end of this message, and I need you to let this truth settle into your spirit like never before. Your time has begun. Not it's coming someday. Not maybe if you're lucky. Not if you try harder. No, God himself has declared it. Heaven's calendar has flipped. The appointed time has arrived. And when God says it's time, no man, no enemy, no obstacle can stop what he's set in motion. Let's go back one more time to Habakkuk 2:3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. For some of you, the waiting felt endless. The delays tested your faith. The silence made you question. But the word says the vision will surely come. And today heaven is announcing, this is that time. This is the appointed season. This is the fulfillment moment. This is the beginning of everything you've been waiting for. So what does that mean as you leave this message? It means you can stop apologizing for dreaming big. It means you can stop questioning whether you're worthy. It means you can stop living in someday and start living in today. Your steps carry a new weight now, because you're walking in divine timing. Your voice carries new authority because you're speaking in season. Your life carries new impact because you're aligned with heaven's clock. And I want you to declare it one more time out loud, right where you are. This is my time. Say it again. This is my time. Let those words echo in your room, in your car, in your spirit. Because as you speak it, chains of delay are breaking. As you speak it, fear is losing power. As you speak it, destiny is opening up. Heaven has said it, and you're agreeing with it. Chosen one, don't let anyone talk you out of this. Don't let the enemy whisper you back into waiting. Don't let people who don't understand make you shrink. This is your appointed time, and your responsibility is to walk boldly into it. Step into opportunities. Step into purpose. Step into obedience. Step into faith. The doors are open. The season is here. The vision is speaking. And your time has begun. And before we finish, I want to invite you to join a community of chosen ones, walking in God's timing together. Don't try to do this journey alone. Hit subscribe to live according to God's word. Not because of numbers, but because we're building a family here. A family that reminds each other, you are chosen, you are called, you are aligned, and your time is now. Every word, every message on this channel is designed to keep you strong, to keep you walking, to keep you living in the truth of what God has spoken. So let's seal this together. Repeat after me, my waiting is over. My season has shifted, my time has begun. Let that be your anthem this week, this month, this year. Carry it into every conversation, every decision, every prayer. Because chosen one, the God who promised is faithful, and his word cannot return empty. Your time has begun. Step into it, live in it, shine through it. And never forget, you are chosen, you are called, and you are right on time.